Our thanks to John Strong and Stu Holden. So we have another confirmed quarter-final for you. It will be Spain against Belgium in Los Angeles this Friday. We also know France will face Morocco in Boston and Norway are going to take on England in Miami. As we welcome you back to our platform here at Seattle Stadium, Rebecca Lowe, Thierry Henry, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and a very disappointed, no doubt, Alexi Lalas. But he is still smiling, as you should be, after quite the summer. But in the end, Lex, it was a step too far for this team. After everything they've given us this summer, they looked almost unrecognisable tonight.
Well, first off, I think congratulations have to go to this Belgium team to come into this environment and put on a show like that. And from a U.S. perspective, they picked the worst time to play their worst game. And I think Mauricio, Pochettino, and the players would admit that. To echo what Stu and John said, anytime this happens, and I've been through this now a lot, the question is always, well, was this a success? Look, I think that this team did win hearts and minds. I think this team did bring people into the tent, and they should be incredibly proud for that. But also, there's a part of me that says the time for moral victories is over, and so we've left something on the table here. And that, to me, is disappointing. I also know it's going to be disappointing to the players and to Mauricio Pochettino when they look at this game. Because, again, the goals that they gave up at times were self-inflicted against a better team. But this U.S. team has beaten better teams in the past. It just didn't happen here today. So it's going to be disappointing to go out, but also in the way in which they went out, which was much more of a whimper than a roar that we had seen through this tournament. As
you say, very convincing from Rudy Garcia and Belgium, and many congratulations to them for that spot in the quarterfinals. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, your first thoughts after this one?
My first thought, they played a better team, and they are better than U.S. when you look at the paper also. And the game, I think this was the worst game that the U.S. did, but they faced also a proper opponent where I was like, Rudy Garcia has a plan for second half, but U.S. couldn't figure out the first half with the starting 11. But this is the game. U.S., they should be proud. They had momentum. They didn't disappoint anyone in the way that in the other games. Yes, the result today is not good, but in the end, I think they had a good run, and they did maximum what they could in this tournament. Then, yes, you can have luck, you can go further, but I think this was also a little bit of a reality check for US.
Thierry?
Levels. You didn't play Bosnia. You didn't play the team that you played in your group stage. Levels. The World Cup is different in group stage. Round of 32 never existed before. Everyone made history in a round 32. It never existed before. That's what you had to go and win today. Beat that Belgium team that people thought they were talking about Balogin, Charlie Bion. There's a game to play and to win. Right? So unfortunately, one host, two hosts, three hosts out. That's exactly what you don't want at a World Cup. That is annoying for me. But at the end of the very day, this guy that you see on the screen controlled the midfield by himself. Every single time, stop every counters, controlled it. And I wanted to see a team that could defend 1v1. I wanted to see a team that was going to be different when they were going to be 1-0 down or not. And they couldn't answer. Levels. And at the end of the day, the third goal changed everything, because it looked like they might be coming back. And when you concede a goal like that, you're going nowhere. This is the World Cup. A new tournament has started. Levels.
You have a point at 2-1, Lexi. They had some momentum, they were on the ball, and then the Matt Friese error.
Yeah, I mean, Matt Friese started the game with an incredible save, and we've been saying all tournament that he has yet to really make the big save. That could have been his big save if he hadn't followed it up later with what is really going to live long in his mind and the minds of American soccer fans, because in that moment, to Thierry's point, there was momentum. We've talked so much about momentum in this tournament. There was momentum. And in a game where there wasn't a whole lot to be happy about, and there wasn't a whole lot of momentum, coming out into the second half, yeah, that was something that this team needed. And then, boom, you just sap it right there in that moment. You see the players, you see them on the field, you see them kick the ball, but they go through a process in a tournament, living together, traveling together, seeing everything that's happening around them, and it's incredibly emotional. I'm sure it's emotional for Mauricio Pochettino and for all of these players here. They will need time to digest this. I think that they will be honest with themselves. I think that Mauricio Pochettino will be honest with us, with the press. I think as an American soccer community that continues to grow, we'll be honest about what we need to do in order to get to, Sherry's point, that next level and be able to compete consistently with the elite teams in the world.
Just real quick, I have to ask you, do you think the Flo Balogin thing became a distraction?
No, not for this team. I think it was noise outside. And by the way, I don't think Flo Balogin was the problem at all today. I thought he worked the channels. I thought he made himself available. I just don't think that he was provided the service in those crucial areas that he needs. So this was not on Flo Balogin. There were a lot of bad performances out there today, but it wasn't Flo Balogin.
I just wanted to add something. People out there, yes, there is a disappointment on the result, but let's not stop pushing this sport in this country. I think that's very important. Built from what happened, yes, there were levels today. Belgium was way better. I told you it's not because the big guns are on the bench that you need to disrespect that team or not underestimate that team, because Trossard can play, the Ketelaere can play, Lukaku can play, and you saw what the midfield can do, and at the back we can go also. But do not stop here believing that it can happen. It will happen eventually one day.
Okay.
While this World Cup is over for this U.S. men's national team, this World Cup is far from over for the United States.
Okay, yeah, good point, gentlemen. Thank you. So 4-1, the final score then. The first half damage was done by Charles Ketelaere. This Belgian team were 2-1 up at half-time and added 2 more after the break. And Belgium growing nicely now into this, what is still a magical World Cup. This is the watch party in Kortrijk, back home in Belgium, in the middle of the night. But now they're quarter-finalists. We'll have more post-match thoughts when we come back. So all 3 host nations at this World Cup are out in the round of 16 as the US tonight have joined Mexico and Canada. Belgium simply had too much in the end for this US men's national team. 4-1, the final score here at Seattle Stadium, but back home for these folks in Herzog, Belgium. They enjoyed their night and they can look forward to a quarter-final against Spain on Friday. Let's hear now from the US head coach, Mauricio Pochettino, with our Jenny Taft.
Mauricio, I know this wasn't the performance you were looking for. In your opinion, what was missing tonight?
Oh, I think everyone saw from the beginning we didn't connect with the game. We never were on the game, even when we scored and we scored the goal 1-1. We conceded the next action. Was really tough from the beginning. To congratulate Belgium, they were better than us. I think wasn't our day. That is not to find excuses or not to find argument, because we didn't show what normally that team can show, and that is a reality.
I can see the players leaving the pitch, the fans supporting your group. What has the support of the fans meant to this team throughout this World Cup?
I think we need to learn. I think it's a process to learn. We need to assess that game, and we need to see why we didn't approach the game in the same way that the rest of the World Cup. Different reason. Maybe the explanation is so easy. Wasn't our day in a collective and individual. Of course, the principal, responsible is myself. And yes, we need to see and to check what we did, because wasn't the performance of the way that normally we play.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Disappointment, of course, from Mauricio Pochettino. It'll be interesting to see what his future is now. We reported a week or so ago that US Soccer had offered him a new deal and he was going to make that decision at the end of the World Cup. So we shall see when that news comes in, possibly over the next few days. Alexi Lala, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Thierry Henry, I'm Rebecca Lowe. Let's show you the story of the game. Then it all started beautifully, as you would expect. The national anthem, a lovely flyover here in Seattle as well, Alexi. But Matt Friese was busy early on.
Yeah, Matt Friese had a lot to do this tournament. He gets really early. This shot is going the upper 90. Comes right across. Wonderful form. Great fingertip save. And so you think, all right, this might be a little different. And it was, because Belgium just followed it up with opportunities, including this one. U.S. not clearing the ball. And again, to Mauricio Pochettino's point, it was not their day. It was so out of character to see this team struggle in simple moments. Somebody's got to clear the ball. Ultimately, finds Ketelaere and into the back of the net. And just like that, the U.S. is down early, something they haven't seen a lot this tournament.
But then Lex, the free kick.
Yeah. Blake Tillman, who I thought actually was one of the players who had a decent game, and decent for the U.S. in this game was good. We saw this before. All right, gets a little deflection here, but again, it's going on net. Thank you very much. So now you think, all right, you got everything out. You fought back. It's 1-1, but
then you get a good cross from Leandro Trossard, and who shows up? The Ketelaere scores his second goal in the tournament. Remember, he's not a proper striker, but in this game he played like a striker, and he did the 2 goals like a striker. Then we have in the 45 minutes, you're gonna see here a throw-in, little flank, and then a try from Balo. Not so easy when you're not in balance to shoot it, but it was an opportunity. Then we have the goalie here, just clear it, my friend. Just shoot it away. Don't think, don't do, just shoot it away. And we get an easy goal by Hans Van Aken. Ketelaere putting pressure on the goalie, but the goalie needs to clear it here. Just too easy, too easy.
That's a killer. That's the killer. That was comical.
And then after that, it became really difficult. We all thought that maybe that ball was in from a strike. Berhalter was very close, came very close, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't the day of this US team. And then here, I thought that Balogin should keep that ball on his right foot. Keep that ball on your right foot and open the angle for yourself. You close your angle going left.
That's the difficult angle.
Close your angle going left, but great save from Thibaut Courtois. And then Zlatan, you said it. I know it's a lucky deflection, but what a finish. Left-footed player, right foot, doesn't matter for Romelu. If you show him a sign where we can see the net, that's his 93rd goal in the national team, which is not bad. Oh, it's hot.
It's not some bad substitutions to come off the bench.
Look, the 4-1 is a bit much towards the end. But like we said, levels.
Yep, indeed. And the United States still not through to a quarter-final since 2002, the Japan-South Korea World Cup. Here at Seattle Stadium, let's get more. Let's head outside. Rob Stone, Carly Lloyd and Clint Dempsey. Rob?